The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, is the Bahamas poking the bear, stating emphatically that it does not support misogyny or homophobia. This just 3 days after Donald Trump became president-elect of the United States. We take a look tonight. Also, come January, PLP MPs will have to resubmit their request to gain a nomination. Also, there is going to be a model or module available so that persons can, receive further training on how to be a candidate and, of course, by extension, a member of parliament. And later in tonight's show, Prime Minister Davis responds to that University of the Bahamas cost of living study. It's all straight ahead for you on this Week in Review Fridays here on Beyond the Headlines. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along. Well, about 3 days ago or 3 evenings ago, the United States of America made its decision clear, electing Donald Trump as its 47th president. Since then, there have been leaders from around the world who have congratulated the president, many expressing desires to perhaps eventually meet with him for any number of reasons. However, though, the stunning voice note that many Bahamians were just a little taken aback by was released this morning by Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell, who says, of course, while the Bahamas will follow suit, but the Bahamas will hold firm to certain things. That is, no to misogyny, no to homophobia. Take a listen, and then we'll come back and discuss.
So the general election in the United States is over, and the insurgent candidate has captured the hearts and minds of the majority of the American people. Given the power of the United States, this has profound implications for the world and our hemisphere, and more importantly, our sub-region. There are many in this country who are crowing from the rafters about the results. The Bahamas government's position is that no matter the result, the Bahamas will deal de facto with who runs the United States. It's our position with Venezuela, with Cuba, with Haiti, and all countries of the hemisphere and sub-region. We do not interfere in the internal affairs of another country. Having said that, our country also supports certain democratic values, the rule of law, the respect for the freedom of the individual. We do not support misogyny, homophobia, or racism. We support the 10 Commandments and the values that flow therefrom. We are, for example, involved in the fight for reparations for slavery. A black woman who is now the leader of the opposition in the UK has called this a scam by Caribbean leaders. During the most recent campaign, one candidate in the United States, remember, threatened to flatten the Bahamas. The last time the insurgent U.S. candidate was in office, there was a withdrawal from the climate change agenda and its processes and from the World Health Organization during COVID. But since we have our voice, no military might, no economic might, we use our voice to stand up for those values to whoever de facto is in a position in any country that runs those countries. And we do so in the hope and the expectation, the truism, that the long arc of history moves toward justice. We've always gotten along with our neighbors, and the expectation is that this will continue no matter who runs on matters of common interest. I would like to express an interesting turn of events. Members of Parliament of the PLP gathered in a conclave over the weekend, 1st and 2nd of November 2024. This was part of an internal review of the party as it prepares for what we expect to be a rigorous re-election campaign. The PLP has been open and transparent in this. We have a clock at headquarters which reads and tells us each morning how many days there are to the general election. I think today it's about 650 days away. We are assessing each constituency, each MP, each branch to examine whether we are fit for purpose. Every MP has to resubmit a request for renomination. Everyone who wants to serve must undergo the module on public service schedule for January of next year. But yesterday, our Deputy Chair, Obi Roberts, showed us a list of MPs who were reserved on an aircraft, a private plane going to Bimini. How did such a matter reach the public domain? It is of no political value except for the fact of the meeting that took place. I indicated, though, that in this age of social media, someone is bound to make 2 + 2 and make it 5. This is an unlawful violation of the privacy of the individuals, and the airline should investigate how such a matter got into the public domain.
Well, there you have Minister Mitchell, Minister of Foreign Affairs, speaking to a number of issues, a lot of which we will get to this evening and talk about and discuss. But of course, it is how he began his, and it's a daily message he sends out on any number of topical issues, whether it be national or international or even regional, that he sends out and speaks on as in his capacity as chairman of the PLP. Many people, though, today really just took his message and dissected it, discussed it, and wondered about the tone of it. And was the tone necessary 3 days in? Well, we're going to hear some opinions on that right now. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. Our contributors, Leslie Miller and Ellington Ferguson. Gentlemen, you both have heard the voice note. You both have heard people discuss the voice note. You both have heard people, I guess, express any number of views on the voice note. Your thoughts about coming out of the gate, basically you're referring to, I guess, the insurgents that happened. Certainly the surrounding a particular individual, which I imagine is Donald Trump, the fact that the Bahamas will not support misogyny, the Bahamas will not support homophobia. Just out the gate with that very aggressive sort of stance.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Certainly, it's a pleasure to be here once again. Shanique, when I listened to the voice notes, I thought it to be a little unfortunate coming from both chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party and the Minister of Foreign Affairs in the Davis-led government. I think Mr. Mitchell should have followed the pattern of the Prime Minister, extend his congratulatory remarks to the new president. This is our neighbors next door to the north of us. This is one of the countries that we rely on heavily. This is one of the countries where a large percentage of our tourism, which is our #1 industry, comes from. We've been touting the amount of record arrivals that we've been having here, coming from mainly from this nation. I think we should be careful how we tread. We have a new president in place in the person of President Donald Trump. I think I don't think that the minister spoke in goodwill towards the new president. This is someone that we're going to have to be dealing with in the immediate. This is someone that we're going to have to be dealing with in the next four years. And I think to come out with strong terms such as insurgent and de facto to refer to the president north of us, I think it's in bad taste. And while he is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, he also sits as part of an administration, and he also, when he speaks, he represents the Bahamas. And this is not the kind of relationship that I think we'd want to build with that country. I think it's very unfortunate coming from Mr. Mitchell. And
unnecessary, especially so early on, not even in office as yet, or taken his seat as yet. That happens in January. I mean, the Bahamas isn't in a position to pick a fight or be hostile.
Absolutely not,
or be hostile towards America of all nations.
Because, I mean, some of the things that he alluded to, I mean, right here in the nation, we got some pushback because we're still a nation that reflects or lives by Judeo-Christian values. Don't forget that. He mentioned the 10 Commandments and all of that. The 10 Commandments are not isolated. It's a whole book. It's 66 of them, okay? And so I think the chairman ought to be more careful. I think he should have taken the pattern of the prime minister of whose administration he's a part of. Unfortunately, he didn't. He sought to go with his own personal feelings and his own will.
I think we need to distinguish between the two rules that Mr. Mitchell finds himself in. He spoke this morning as the chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, political entity, who happens to be the governor of the day. I listened to him very carefully. I think his words were, it could have been more conciliatory. Mr. Trump is the president of the United States. Nothing we can do with that. He won fair and squarely. I was pulling for the other side. They were not victorious. Certainly have all of our congratulations. It's our neighbor to the north, and we appreciate them, and they should reciprocate and appreciate us as we appreciate them.
Absolutely.
We still are, it's a sovereign state. But, it's really under the purview of the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Philip Ray Davis, to give those congratulatory remarks to the new President of the United States, incoming President, which would happen in January. And our relationship, I'm sure, would be a cordial and productive one. It has always been the last 100, 200 years of our place in this hemisphere. And I see no reason not to have that continue. So I think everything is in order.
I think it's to all of the stuff that the evil and the stuff that they talk about President Trump, that the world was coming to an end, the United States Constitution was going to be suspended immediately and all this type of stuff. I mean, what are they going to say after January 6th when he's, I think it's January 10th, eh?
Well,
20th, I believe.
Respect,
Yeah.
you have to blame.
When he is
Yes.
put in place,
Yes.
and these things doesn't happen. They talk about immigration, and people talk about how is it going to affect us. That has nothing to do with us. What he do for his country as it relates to immigration, that he has a rights and a responsibility to the American people. We, on the other hand, got to start passing the buck and expecting people to do our work. We've got to start doing our job, make the necessary tough decisions that we need to make to deal with immigration in this country, and stop expecting somebody else to do it for us.
Well, I think it does affect us. What happened in the United States will obviously affect the Bahamas. When the United States have a little cold, we catch the flu. Inadvertently, we're going to crisscross each other from time to time. But I believe that, you got to blame Mr. Trump for a lot of what people expect. He was the one who said this is going to get rid of all the foreigners.
Leslie, let me say this. The Prime Minister Davis.
The Christian church in the United States, you only have to vote this one time. You ain't got to vote again.
No, people continue to
They were his words.
pick a phrase
They were
or a
his words.
sentence out of his speech
Man, come on.
and make it to
But
what
it
they
makes no
want it to
sense
be.
to say that. Their
People
constitution,
took him on his word.
but
Now-
their constitution dictates they have an election every 4 years.
Yeah,
If the
but,
man say you only have to vote, he told them that in 2016.
None other than
Yeah.
Prime Minister. Prime Minister
And
Philip
he
Davis
will.
said this, Shanique.
Yes.
Prime Minister Philip Davis said this. So it will not have a negative impact on us. Those
He was talking
who
about climate change.
No. Relax.
Specifically.
No, I tell you what he's talking about.
Go back to immigration.
He said those who are Bahamians who are there illegally and
have committed crimes.
Even if they commit a crime, if they're there illegally and they have to be deported, he hoped that they come here and be prepared to make a contribution to society. They are Bahamian. What can we do? And so if anybody left from here to go there, they would quite naturally be deported here, is where they should have been. Now, if we have people here that should not be here and fail to deport them, or we have people come here, live here, then when there, they must be deported back here. If we fail to do what we need to do to send illegal immigrants, well, we can't talk about what negative effect they're going to have on us. Negative effect it have on us because we haven't dealt with it over the years. That's the negative effect.
No, we have not.
The United States haven't dealt with it either.
Well, now they're dealing with it. They're dealing with it because
that's why they have a new president.
Because as we have said,
That is why
the
they have a new
chickens.
president.
Wait, Leslie.
Yes.
The chickens have come home to roost. Now we have used that term here locally before. We have not done anything about it. They're doing something about it because for them, the chickens have come home to roost and it's now become a major issue for them. And they're deciding no more. That's why they voted the way they voted, because they heard what they wanted to hear.
With greatest respect, America were the ones who continue to push the Haitian problem on the Bahamas and say, you keep them there for time being. They want to go to Florida.
Well, you blame Bahamian leaders.
Do we have legislators?
No.
Do we have legislators?
You
Do we
blame
have
all
law
ears.
enforcement?
In my humble opinion, we should now make a conscious decision to save our own country.
Exactly.
Now?
there will
Exactly.
not be any more citizenship.
From
granted
Loftus
Exactly.
Roker, we should have done it.
Yes.
Exactly.
From when Loftus
There should
Roker was
be-
trying to tell us different.
Exactly.
Now,
Leslie, you make a point because
Excessive property.
here's where that is. We could see
Yeah.
the United States is
For 5
stepping.
years.
The United States is stepping on that in terms of now. Trump said, "Listen, come legally." They want immigrants to come,
Yes.
but legally. But get
Yeah.
this though, the U.S. is still putting a sort of a standstill to the illegal immigration problem,
absolutely.
which
If you
has
look at the
been
newspapers
has
this
been
morning,
has
every
been
day
about
there's
12 has been
30
about
pictures
12
of
million people in the last 4 years.
Yes.
Now you see that happening in Canada. You see it happening
they're
in the
doing
in
the
the
same
in the
thing.
UK.
Yeah.
You see it happening
Yeah.
in other areas.
All over
The
Europe.
Bahamas,
All
thank
over
you.
Europe.
The Bahamas, as you said, Leslie,
You have
needs to
stop
put
it.
a moratorium in place.
5-year
should have.
A
moratorium.
moratorium
today.
in place that says
Today.
no more.
No
so
more.
our leaders need to
Today.
step up
Done it long time.
because if
So
our
we can
leaders
reassess our wants and needs.
and that is,
Absolutely.
Leslie, you are brilliant. You know
gotta do
why?
it.
That is what Trudeau said.
You gotta do
Trudeau
it,
said
yes.
the reason Canada is making
But
the
I know we can
decision
do it.
is making is because now the government agencies
Yes.
and the country
Yes.
and the leadership of the country
You have to
must now
put a
catch up,
moratorium and reassess
catch up
your
with what the
position.
growth of
Absolutely.
Canada
You
has
have to
been.
do it.
So therefore,
Absolutely.
they are
I know
not
you can do
they
it.
are not
That's the
granting
problem.
any
you
other
can't
citizenship.
expect
Uh-huh.
another nation to do it for you.
No, of course not. We got to step up and do
coming
it.
in.
We have elected leaders for that.
Absolutely.
And
And
within
so
30
lead.
years, we will be replaced as a people. I'm telling you. Right now, we are replacing the construction industry. And
Exactly.
most of the other fields.
Exactly.
And I don't know why the hell we don't try to put up this school that we need to put up to train our people to take those jobs that the foreigners are holding in this country.
But Leslie, that's it
We
right there.
need to do it.
We are talking about the United
I'm sending it
States,
out again.
etc. But Leslie,
The
why
trade
is
school must be
But
implemented.
Leslie, you've been singing
If we
this
serious.
same song
If we serious.
now for
But
since
when
last
it comes
year.
to me, it ain't gonna happen. So it's just like LNG. It takes other niggas to make it happen. I accept that, brothers.
Leslie, you have been asking for this and singing
No, I
the
accept
song. You even talked about it, and you gave.
a lone wolf out there.
What is it?
I'm just a lone wolf in the wilderness.
Leslie, you're not a lone wolf in the wilderness,
I'm
and it's
sorry.
unfortunate that you talk about this. We talk about building a nation and having to sort of recalibrate and now
have to.
decide exactly what it is, where the Bahamas is, and where
Yes.
it needs to go.
Why
I'm
can't we
saying-
put a moratorium?
yes.
What stops us as the people from putting a moratorium for 5 years? What else stop us?
We're afraid to
Nothing.
govern.
Well, every
Because
other
we're afraid
nation
to
is
govern.
doing it.
Nothing stops
Every
us.
other
But
nation
it
in this
ain't happen.
hemisphere, including
But
the
it ain't
United
happen.
Kingdom and Europe,
It ain't happen.
they're doing it.
It ain't happen.
So let's see what the Bahamas does, because if Bahamians are in that group, particularly starting with the criminal element,
Yeah.
and they are sent home in droves,
Yeah.
and you are saying, Ellington, some who just left from here to go there
Yeah.
and end up in the criminal justice system
Absolutely.
are sent here. Let's see.
In this instance, you ought to be man or mouse. Make up your mind what you can be.
What?
Man or mouse.
Listen to me, Leslie,
as that.
you're right.
Make up your mind.
Every leader is now being called on to
You be
stand
man or
up and
mouse.
stand
You
on
ain't got the
business.
guts to do it, then get the hell out of
I
parliament.
know, I agree.
Simple as
Every leader now has to stand up on business because
yeah.
it is no joke
It's
anymore.
either us or them.
That's right.
It's us or
and you
them.
see how Americans voted.
It's us or them.
It's a reason they voted the way they did. Immigration was a huge determining factor.
Absolutely.
It was
and
a
they
huge
have somebody
and the
who is
economy
going
and the
to
rest of
govern
it.
for America.
Yeah.
We asking now
Enough is
that
enough.
our leaders
Step to the
govern
plate.
for the Bahamas.
Step to the plate.
Yeah,
to the
absolutely.
plate.
Gentlemen, we are just getting started. We're going to talk about those PLP MPs. I know you all were stunned, eh? You all were stunned this morning when you heard this part, right? You will have to resubmit a request in order to determine. Leslie, we can hear
Leslie,
from
you
you.
have to apply, Leslie.
You got to reapply in order to determine whether or not your request will be granted. We're going to talk about that when we come back right here on Beyond the Headlines, Week in Review Fridays.
I got to apply.
Hi, this is Ryan Payne from Ryan Payne Fitness with a health tip brought to you by IL FitFest. Tip number 1, consistency is key. Start small and build momentum from there. It may mean starting with a 30-minute walk every other day, but once you start, you get the ball rolling. Tip number 2, you fail to plan and you plan to fail. It may mean prioritizing meal prep the night before to make sure you ensure that you have your meals for that day, rather than going out there and buying food on the go. Come out to IL Fit Fest down at the University of the Bahamas November 16th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'll be there, so make sure you're there.
Join us Saturday, November 16th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., University of the Bahamas grounds for IL Fit Fest. Be on time to take advantage of over $10,000 in giveaways and health screenings powered by Eating Well. Supervised Kids Play Zone also available.
Get ready to win Lucky Bucks. Wherever you see this taxi, flag it down.
The boy hard, beating so hard, I will be hard beating right here. I'm looking for my first contestant to ride in the Lucky Taxi. Walk in the taxi, you got to do the Lucky Walk, brother. Oh, yeah. Thanks. Man, thank you, sir. 85 times 2 is how much, brother? You will leave with $170, brother.
I never expected to win as much as I win.
Very excited when the gentleman picked me to ride inside the taxi.
So if I had to choose a game that would stay, it would be Island of Taxi.
You could be next on the Island Lucky Taxi.
Eating Well has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madeira Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay eating well.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. The discussion in the break is even more on the show. I'll tell you that. Welcome back to the show. We are going to just continue this evening. Of course, we are really sort of dissecting the PLP chairman's message. He sends it out daily. He addresses a number of news, topical items, trending items, whether it's locally, regionally, or internationally. And oftentimes, we certainly hear what he has to say on this show. So this evening, we're doing just that. And we're looking at some things he had to say. In the first segment, we talked about Minister Mitchell really addressing the U.S. President or elect Trump, and what many felt was just unfriendly language. You know, unfriendly. It was strong and why. But I'll tell you, shifting gears. What the chairman also said is this, quite interesting. Forget America. They already voted. We're getting ready to vote. I think he said it's about today. From today until election, I think around 650 days, if I remember that number he called, yes. So get this, y'all, the PLP getting ready, eh? Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines, Week in Review Fridays. Leslie Miller, Ellington Ferguson. Gentlemen, I want to ask you about this. Minister Mitchell said, in this instance, Fred Mitchell, the chairman of the party, said that PLP MPs will have to, in January, resubmit a request for nomination. Now, of course, that request will be taken into consideration by the Candidates Committee and other deciding factors to decide if you shall be approved. Also, what's going to be happening as well, I imagine those people who have an interest, including sitting MPs and others, are welcome to participate in sort of this module, a class, just to sort of get you ready to serve publicly in public life. And so, but let's go back a little bit. The way MPs have to now, I guess, almost prove themselves through this resubmission of a request to say, hey, hi, I want to run again. Your thoughts?
Shanique, I am not sure what all of this module is going to...
experience, you let us know.
No, I'm not sure what this is going to entail as it relates to sitting MPs, which most of them are cabinet ministers. What are you going to teach them? So are you saying that you think they're failing? Okay, that we have to put them in some sort of class? Because right now they're running the administration of this entire country. What is it that you're going to be teach them? Some history lessons about the party, some things about how government works? So you're saying that these sitting members, cabinet ministers, don't know how government works. We have to get them ready. I think for sitting members of parliament, I don't see where it makes sense. I think if you got new persons coming in, fine, yeah.
Well, it's open to the public. I understand anybody who's interested.
But specifically because he mentioned all MPs, what does this entail?
Well, in particular, though, let's go back to the fact that these MPs, I wonder how they feel. Somebody call in right now. Call me. Because they are going to have to resubmit. You're forgetting this major part here. They now have to go through their own sort of reappealing process in terms of were they worthy this term to even go into the next election for the party to represent, were they to be successful at the polls, the PLP in the next governance?
Or are they trying to implement something where they already know they have to chop some persons, and they're trying to implement something where they'll have to push off, say, well, the candidates committee did not accept you, or what? Is it that what they're trying to do?
So you think that's it? Like unwilling to make the decision to say,
yes.
listen, I'm sorry, you're not going to go with us this time.
So it will remove the decision-making from either himself or the prime minister, put it to some committee that people probably don't even know exactly who was responsible for saying yes or no. But it doesn't make much sense to me, no.
Listen, I was elected in 1987, and I went before the candidates committee to be nominated in 87. And that was the last time I've ever been before any committee.
You didn't go any other time after that?
I made up my mind I was going to be the type of MP that nobody could have pushed me around and told me to take no damn classes. I wasn't going through that now, not me. No, because if you do your job properly, they will hear from the people who you represent that is who they want. That's what a good MP does.
Yeah.
You put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
And I run 6 times in a row. Okay? It's a situation that they've established. The FNM has followed suit with the PLP.
I noticed that.
And they have a whole lot of people that are getting themselves in trouble because one of the ladies associated with the PLP went to one of the classes. I understand she kept in hell right now because she went to the classes to try.
That's true, because they open it to everyone. That's the thing. They opened it to the they opened it to the nation.
Where y'all having y'all doing? I may gotta come see what y'all doing.
And then it's
open to everybody, eh?
It takes power away from the people with these members that have been working in these constituencies, whether they've been doing a good job.
Whether or not they are approved or not.
Exactly. It takes the power away from the people.
Yeah, it's really the National General Council that ratifies all candidates, eh? And that's where you win or lose. I mean, in one case, I can tell you in 82, when I was approached by the Right Honourable Prime Minister Lyndon Pindlen and Mr. Hanna to be a candidate, they told me go and open up your headquarters, which I did. And a couple of the fellas decided that the pot cake wasn't going with them at that time. And they were able to take away my nomination. Yeah, I can tell you that.
Wow.
But what about sitting MPs? As Ellington says, what if they decide one of the sitting MP, they're not going to approve? If a sitting MP
is doing his job and he has his people with him, you shouldn't have a problem at all. 1 or 2 of them, I'm sure some realignment is going to take place. Some of the people in the area may wish to have someone that's represent them. And that's a couple of yesterday was in a discussion. Woman said, Mr. Miller, don't send him back there. And I don't want you coming to my house either.
Who is he?
Like
you want to call the name?
No, a couple of them. I just say, what could be, could be.
What areas?
But if you're doing your job, if you do your job, you're not worried about no NGC or nobody else, because they will not come after you if they know you can win on your own.
So let's say you said they tell you that when you went Michael?
Huh?
You said that's what they told you when you went up to Michael?
Michael, I never went up there.
Oh, okay. No, I thought that's where you were.
The first time I went up there was with BJ Norton himself, God bless him, Campbell Clare, when we handled his campaign. When we actually handled Dr. Joaquin, Frank Joaquin, when he won, that was in 89, when he won. And we stayed there for about 6 weeks. But it's a process, and if they decided they want to put you through this little kiddie school thing, then with MPs who were there before, and you didn't learn much for the 5 years over there, I guess you got to repeat a class. That's what I look at it as.
I guess that's what they're saying.
Yeah, so you repeat over again, and hopefully someone will get a good mark. 50 plus 1 is, I guess, a passing mark, and those who know that they can do it themselves, you may got to skip it if you want to, but you could get in trouble, so don't listen to me now.
I don't see the sense of
don't skip it, because you only got the stripes like Leslie. Don't be unburdened by what was.
Go attend your class.
I'm thinking now seriously, but
About what?
Putting myself in the ring myself, and that's what
You
I'm
will go submit your application.
I catch you now trying to get things done. Maybe I need to
You
go back to
get
it
in there
done.
where you could make things happen.
Yeah.
Leslie, go
gotta go
submit
back.
your
Mr.
application.
Mitchell will not allow you.
I
Go
put my
submit your
application next week.
application.
Yep.
Who will not allow it?
Right.
No, not if he don't submit his application. Mr.
No,
Mitchell will
go
not
and
allow him
submit
to
your
run.
application.
He will not be able to run in no election if he don't submit his
I
application.
mean, we got a couple of them now. Probably, I'm almost my age anyhow. So, you know, if they say it was the age of the old fellas, the young guys that to come in, and if they can't step to the plate and do their job, then the older fellas should.
And
who
that's
could do
why
their job
I don't
should
agree
get
with the
back and do their
ageism
job.
comments that is
There's
made.
no reason why
I-
Shane Gibson, people like him,
cannot-
should not be a part of
shouldn't
the
be given,
process.
That's
shouldn't be given
unfortunate. That's
a
unfortunate.
nomination.
He's one of the best MPs in the history of our country.
Absolutely.
And if
Bar
elected,
none.
if elected again, will be
And still a young man who has a
best.
contribution to make.
Absolutely.
And I made him a
Very young
1,000%.
man. Younger
And he
than a
should-
lot that's
He
there.
should reapply, and he should be considered along with everyone else, because everybody now equal. If they say you got to apply, that means we all equal.
Absolutely.
If you want the best and want to be elected, I agree
Yeah,
with you. I
pick
agree
the
with
best.
both of you, and
And
somebody who
age got nothing to do with it.
someone who
It's-
served
it's
the
up here.
people. Yeah.
In your head and your heart.
Well, Leslie,
That's where it is.
we see some of
Your
these
head and
people
your
are
heart.
extremely young. That was one of the sort of the, I guess, drawing points. Oh, this is a young crew, so you got the young and the old. But a lot of these young guys dropped the ball. A lot of the more
major way.
mature
You know, I was
ones did as
36
well.
when I first got elected.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of these young guys dropped the ball. I guess they were too caught up in their suits. I'm not quite sure or something. But listen,
Some can get cut. He no doubt about that.
Something but we know
get
some will
cut.
get cut now. We know
Some will
that.
get
Perhaps this Ellington, this is perhaps
Some will get cut.
the very shrewd way of trimming the
I
fat.
think that's what it is.
Some
And I
of it.
think you've seen the conclave that they had on last week down
Yes.
there in the Bimini. I think that was to kind of set the motion as to what is going to be going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so we should see either some people shaping up or get prepared to ship out.
Now, gentlemen, of course, we know that University of the Bahamas study that came out, I believe it was earlier this week.
That was on Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Earlier this week, where it says, listen, in order to be middle class, and Bahamians got vexed at this, eh? Like they all could get vexed at some things.
It was self-serving too, eh?
Bahamians were angry because they were like, hold on, so what you trying to say, we poor? Well, what they are saying is,
Hey, you can't call the guy in Brook Street walk, because he ain't get like that now.
Listen
Because
to
you
me.
know why? He has a nice foreign car in his yard that costs more than the damn house. So don't tell that nigga what he bought now.
they say, hold on, what you trying to say, we poor?
The car
So-
costs about 50 grand.
Listen to me, and where? So, but if you're not, I don't care how much your car costs, because if you are not earning $10,200 a month, then you are the working poor. Many people were stunned
That's a
at
hell of a
this,
lot of
but
wicked
people,
poor, I tell you
I
that.
tell you that part right there.
A hell of a lot of
Only
wicked poor.
between 1% and 2% of the working population perhaps even makes that or more.
That's right.
And so the
They
thing
least.
is, exactly. So the thing is, really, 90 plus, perhaps 98% of people
Yeah.
are in the category of
Well, 65% of them are potcakes, eh? Who wake up every morning, go to a job. If you can take home $600-700 a week, be happy. Because most people don't take that kind of money home.
The
Yeah.
middle class in the Bahamas over the years have shrunk, and they have now become the working poor.
Exactly.
Okay? And the poor is someplace squandering down there way on the floor,
Yep.
which could be anything from no income to $250, $300 a
Easy
week.
out there.
Okay?
Easy.
I tell you, Leslie, you go about, I mean, every weekend you go about. In fact, I think even during the week you go about in various constituencies.
Stapleton right now.
Ellington, you go about as well, and you all see what and I don't mean to be demeaning or even insensitive, but the squalid conditions many of the hurting people live in right now in Nassau. Just Nassau we're talking about.
Yes.
Live in.
Any woman in Nassau that has 2 or 3 children and don't have a husband or a better half to take care of her, she is as marginalized as she can be. With a regular common job working at one of the hotels, only God knows how her and her 3 or 2 children survive. Now you got to blame, the first thing you got to blame the negligent Bahamian man.
Man, yes.
That's the first thing,
Yeah.
first and foremost, who refused to take care of the children that God gave him. You see, it's bugged me. No child asked to come here, you know. You brought him here, then you want to neglect him. And the only time they accept him is when they become a basketball or a track and field star or
That's
a
my
smart
son.
kid in school
That's
who
my boy.
went above and beyond the course of duty. And then they brag in the clubs with their buddies. That's my son, that's my
Yes,
daughter.
yes.
But you didn't do a damn thing in their life to upgrade them and assist them in being what they would wish God made them to be. So you start with that foundation. Step to the plate, fellas. Your negligence. And the court, how can the court system say $50 or $60 a week to bring up what child? In which country in this world?
Where?
So you start with the courts. And these fellas got to start getting locked up. You got to lock them up every Friday. You got to garnish their wages and say this is going to protect these children.
Because I'll tell you, it is the government's job to put policies in place that serve us and cause our lives to be better. But you know what? I also hate a socialist country. I hate pandering to people who should be more inspired and compelled to pull themselves up.
Exactly.
And with that said, don't stand in people's way and keep your foot on their necks by preventing them.
But my neck's so sore.
Leslie, your neck is not sore. Stop it.
Leave, I dying.
Your neck is not all
Please
sore.
take me off my neck, man. Give me a break.
Listen. As what I'm so the thing.
You're must think I'm a real pot cake, you know?
You call yourself that, you know? Pot cakes just get passed by on the street.
Bite you on your ass when I get ready. You know?
Listen to me. So the thing is, this is what governments are for. Not to rescue people, but yet, of course, to have safety nets in place, which they do to assist. And then to provide a timeline for that to happen. But more important than that, empower your people so that they are not a strain on the system and the public purse.
I mean, what if we ask the question, what are we going to do with those persons who are now at that place on Thompson, on
Ponciana?
On Ponciana. I mean, that has to be sorted out because the government has no responsibility to keep you there forever. I know when we was in the heat of the election, I was able, through Obi Whitcomb, God bless him, a good friend, to take many people, women especially with young kids who really was being mistreated by their boyfriends or their better half. And you put them out in the hotel out west, the small hotel out west. They won't be there for the rest of their life. That is not the government's job to maintain you and your 3 children when they have fathers who has an obligation to do so.
But when you as an adult...
cannot stay in the damn people's house forever.
But also, Leslie, when you as an adult also are compelled to go make something of your life.
Yes.
You're not there to sit down and just breathe.
You know. They don't leave.
Shanique, and even what Leslie is mentioning, it's a complex situation.
Yes.
It is.
On my way here this evening, I walked across the gas station yard, and a young lady, very, very young lady, walking with a little child. She came up to me, and I didn't have time to go no ATM, but she says, please, I need something so I could get him something to eat.
Man, it's rough.
It broke my heart.
Break your heart, man. Break your heart.
And so my point is, we have a lot of people in that same context.
Yes, we do. You're right.
As a nation, we need to see how we could find some corrective measures. We can't just have that number of people growing in our population. We've got to find a way to find some corrective measures to have counseling, get these people, don't just take them off of the streets, put them in, like Leslie mentioned, with the building up there on Burnett Road, put them in there and say, be out in 3 months. I think there ought to be something. What is this person condition? There ought to be some assessment. What is their condition? What is their need? How could we get this person on a track path to get back in to be a productive citizen? You need housing immediately. Then, what about job? Do we have to put this person in some immediate training? Do we have to try to get job placement for this person?
I can retell you all what social services shared with me on this show. Social services said they have those various steps for the residents of the shelters, each shelter. There's a system in place where there's a process to assess them, to find out where they are, to perhaps send them to training and seminars, and also to interviews, to be able to get them on their feet.
So what happens at the end of the day?
Then they are on their feet, they're employed.
But how often does that happen?
I imagine it's ongoing. I have no idea. They want to come back. I think they're in Grand Bahama this week.
Do they place all them in government entities or what?
Not necessarily government.
No, I think it's anywhere they fit in.
Private sector, everybody needs to be involved in it. Not just government. You can't place them in everybody in government.
So the private sector got to be involved.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They have a responsibility just like the government.
But again, once they would have got training and be somebody that's employable, then I think I can see the transition.
Yeah, because we got to stop trying to do people favors in this country. Now that is what exactly, Leslie. That is what it is.
Train them properly. And then we must also recognize, not only for these persons that are finding themselves falling through the loopholes, for ordinary persons, there's a challenge with finding affordable housing, rental
Listen,
housing.
That's-
That is a real reality in our country. Prime Minister Davis spoke to it. We need to address it post haste. That is a serious issue.
We spend the weekend in Stapleton Gardens. And I would say 5 out of 10 of the apartments that used to be apartments are now Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's a
Yeah.
deficit.
Airbnb.
Yep. It's
Now,
empty, but it's
whether
not for
that's
rent.
right or wrong, because remember now, when I was Minister of Trade and Industry, we bought this act that prohibits landlords, the Landlord Act we call it, not to take advantage of the people that rent from them. And I feel like it's gone through the roof. I mean, why would you have to pay $800 for 1-bedroom apartment in Stapleton Gardens? And $1,200 for 2-bedroom apartment. That's horrendously expensive. An average person making $400 a week cannot afford that.
Cannot afford
That's $1,600 a month and 12 go for him. What can happen to my children? $100 a week ain't gonna buy grocery.
Nope.
Well,
And if you ain't got a better half to help you, dog eat your lunch.
Eat your lunch is correct.
well,
You
I'll tell you this.
You did.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's happening too, because with that $260 a week, that's now minimum wage, that equals $1,040 a month.
That
Certainly
rent.
not
That ain't-
enough.
that ain't gonna work.
Now
That ain't
though,
gonna rent yet.
That ain't gonna work.
on behalf of landlords though, Bahamians are not the best tenants.
No, I understand
And
that.
they intentionally go and destroy. So the
Ain't no
people,
doubt about it.
so the people decide that they want to turn their property into Airbnbs because they're tired of coming out of pocket every so often, having to do this and do the next thing, etc. So it's a thin line.
But
It's
this
a
is
lot.
why-
You
Shanique,
cannot.
you're absolutely correct.
This is why-
You
listen,
cannot want to fight a landlord
The
for
government
saying
needs to
enough for
incorporate a
your.
plan. Let me give you an example. You go on Camp Road, St. James Road, 5 Pound Lot. There are about 30 vacant property that's been there for at least some hasn't been built on for 50 years. You put houses on those properties.
There are things
for those
that we
places.
can do.
You can do it.
There are many
Well,
things that we can do.
you can't do it.
gentlemen, I don't know. We didn't have a chance to
If
get
you
to
don't have the will to do it,
the
then
Prime
that's a different
Minister's
story.
plan. The Prime Minister gave, I think, an 8-prong plan in answer to that study for $10,200 a month. He says, how do you address it, or how you plan on addressing the lack of competition, increasing consumer protection, putting money back in Bahamians' pockets, energy sector reforms, and reduce costs. Support
also
for
assist local
families and
manufacturers?
students, expanding local food products or production, increasing access to affordable housing, trade diversification and partnerships. 8 various points.
let me tell you,
He also
with the
mentioned
greatest respect,
tax
how you gonna-
reduction also. He may
How
also
are you going to have
mention
trade
tax reduction.
diversification when the Trade Diversification Committee does nothing to assist local manufacturers in the damn country? They're going outside to Brazil and every place else to bring their goods here to the detriment of what we produce in the country. Get real. I tell the whole commission, get real. I told you that before.
Well, then the Bahamas.
Get real.
Well, Bahamians, listen to me, man. You're
And
in
the
these
government
areas.
ministries
Stop
and
playing-
corporations
Stop playing
don't buy
games.
nothing local. Not a damn one.
Stop playing
And that's a
games.
fact.
Yeah, see,
Whether
and
you all
this-
like it or not.
See, life real on these streets.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
see, Leslie may get a little
Not a fact.
agitated, but life real on
Real.
these streets. And if what he is saying is correct,
I'm
y'all
telling
got to
you.
get it together. That's what. Lead by
Okay, this
example.
rhetoric got to stop, man.
Yeah, lead by
Bahamian
example.
The
business
rhetoric
is
got to
struggling.
stop. Y'all spending our money all over the damn world. Go in here and go in there.
Bringing in this one, that
How you
one,
going to
next thing,
diversify an economy by bringing in foreign products instead of assisting those small entities here to
That
grow
produce
and
the same
prosper
things.
and produce and get large? You got to get your Ministry of Works and everybody else to use local products, but they ain't gonna do it. You got to have a mandate and your heart got to be in the right damn place for it to happen. If not, you're wasting time. Okay?
That's it.
That's why we formed the Bahamas Land Use Development Council in 1983. And this is the worst shape we've been in the history of our country. The worst shape. Nobody give a damn but us no more. None.
There you have it. Thank you very much, Leslie Miller. Thank you very much, Ellington Ferguson. Don't go anywhere. We're going to lighten things up a bit. Listen, boy, you all like to live. Anyway, we'll tell you about a fun activity that you can do this weekend. But while you're having fun, think with these thoughts. These some serious thoughts.
Absolutely.
But we're going to take a break and come back with more Big on the Headlines right after this.
What you doing? What you doing? Where you at? Where you at? We gotta go. Gotta go.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Well, tomorrow, if you're looking for something to do with the whole family, you are in luck. The Progressive Liberal Party is having a family and fun day, and it's going to be from the entire day straight into the evening when there will be a concert. We're going to find out more about that. These women continuing to be busy and providing wholesome activities, also empowering. If you remember, they stopped by about a week or so ago to talk about an empowerment seminar. Now, tomorrow, there's Family and Fun Day. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Belinda Chipman. Belinda, thank you very much for being here. I know you are super excited. I saw you as I was doing the other segments, extremely busy, making last-minute preparations, etc. Yes. Tell us about this event that's planned for tomorrow.
Okay, it's big. The Progressive Liberal Party is in its 71st year of existence, 1, and 2, the 3rd year of governance in this term. And so they're having this big family fun day / concert to celebrate and just to enjoy with the entire Bahamas. It is not a fundraiser. It is where you can come on out with your children, your family members, and just get involved in a myriad of activities.
So you were saying, listen, they say you ain't got to come there figure you got to wear yellow or nothing. You even ain't got to know a PLP. No. Just come out, bring your kids, because this is for the family, this is for Bahamians, and this is to find something wholesome to do.
Yes, yes. And because of that, we are saying, listen, come on out, bring the children. So in the day, we have all kinds of activities, competitions like pineapple eating competition, watermelon, crab catching, you know, and that. But I'm just saying.
You're not going to be involved.
Not touching any crabs, but anyhow. But the crab catching, of course, rake and scrape competition, the best dressed woman and the best dressed man. Okay? So you come out in all of your PLP gala. You know, sometimes you'll see them do these things with the PLP fabrics. If you do that, I heard DJ Pencil is doing that.
Listen, many people are so it has to be a PLP
No, but I heard Pencil's video because he's the DJ.
Let me tell you, what these women in particular do with material, especially during special events, John Canoe, of course, obviously during the election campaign season, it's stunning.
Yes.
It's stunning how they can turn a simple t-shirt into something.
Independence, they make the most fabulous outfits out of, you'll give them t-shirts and they'll come back with ball gowns, and it's amazing. And so they're having a competition for who has the best one, but it's just more than that, because we also have other things different from the competition, the games and activities. There are like over 30 to 40 booths, I'm told. And I'm told every constituency will be represented there. So you're bringing the constituencies together after this 3-year term, and you're regrouping before you go with a big bang into election. So you want to engage the entire Bahamas to come on out with their friends and family members to eat, drink, be merry. You have, like I said, different booths with different types of foods. There's hoopla. And of course, the booths. There's one of the booths I'm told that's gonna have a whole hog roasted.
Oh, like on the spigot
yes.
thing.
I think it's Southern Shores, and then Tall Pines Cave, and then they said they're going to be doing roasted everything, roast pig, roast
so this is an
corn.
event where every constituency
also has a booth.
Will have a representation.
Yes.
Oh, so this is major. Where is it?
Food and activities.
Yes, tell us, where is it going to be held?
So it's going to be at the Fish Fry at the Western Esplanade. There is going to be entertainment by actual entertainers later. The band is the DePawn Band. I don't know if you know of them, but they're coming with a big bang to give entertainment in the evening with some, known Bahamian entertainers. But throughout the day, first, DJ Pencil, who is our host DJ, is going to be doing his usual games and activities, giving away things like cell phones. And let me just put it out there, I need one, thanks. My phone's crashing. I'm just saying, but...
No gifts for the people who are part of the committee.
I hate that, Shanique. Listen to me. I hate that. Everything I do, because I'm always involved in everything, I never win anything. I'm mad. But anyhow, it's going to be great. I see, so I said, John Bull cards, gifts and giveaways. There's going to be a hoopla table, and I'm told that the hoopla table has lots of fun gifts. So if you can't find me, I'll be there. But also we're going to have a radio station, the 100 Jams crew, and I'll be on live with them as well throughout the day.
Yes, just say a radio station, thanks.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. and so Belinda, what really is the attempt here by the PLP in terms of putting this event on tomorrow?
Well, one of the things that is, because it's a party for the people, and because it's a party that was founded on bringing people together, people from all walks of life, the regular common Bahamian man to the top, wherever you're from. It's just to bring Bahamians together to enjoy, to fellowship, and be there with your family members. It's a family event. And like I said before, not a fundraiser, You want to make sure that we touch families and ensure that family members understand the value of staying together, being together, doing things and activities together, enjoying life together, and not just, always work, like you. Always work.
That part, Lord, I tell you, you got me, absolutely. But I want to know, of course, the parents who plan on attending, oftentimes at these events, there's something of a kiddie corner. Will there be sort of just activities tailored for kids?
Yes, there are activities tailored for kids. And they have this young children dance, get them ready. They're having a competition. And I'm told like $100, I might have to go learn that.
You know what I mean?
But
yes.
but so they're having the competitions for them, adults and children, like I said, with the pineapple, the watermelon eating, and all of those eating competitions, as well as the crab catching, the kiddies corner with the bouncing castle, and just a myriad of stuff from day 12 o'clock, we're open and ready for business.
So from 12 all the way to the concert.
Yes, Lady Prime Minister's wife, Lady Anne Marie Davis, will do an opening there and somewhere throughout the day, and it's just going to be exciting.
Yeah, now tell us about the concert later in the evening, tomorrow evening.
So later in the evening, the concert will happen with the DePawn Band, and they are going to have a myriad of entertainers. And so I am excited for that. Bahamian culture is one of my roots. So that's what I really, really wait out for. The names of those guys are persons like, I think they're having the guy Zuzu or something like that, or Zulu, and all those persons that are affiliated with that band. So we just want to have everyone come out, join, be involved in everything, win some prizes and surprises, because there'll be lots of them, eat some good Bahamian food. Some of these booths are coming crazy with some really hardcore Bahamian food from different islands. And so that's what we really want to embellish more than anything, the family togetherness.
The family together, and it's so needed in the nation today. Really, really
It
is.
really
I mean,
is. It really is.
People may say, "Oh, that's a political event," but be bigger than that. It's a family event,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
necessary. It's so needed for
Yeah.
families to have wholesome activities to participate in, and,
Yeah.
and just to kind of be able to go out and enjoy and socialize in a
Yes.
safe environment
Yes,
that's
yes.
also conducive for fun and treats and eats and the rest of it.
Yes.
And if we want to stay behind later, of course, the concert.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, when things like that happen, you know, there are certain protocols that have to be in place. You have to reach out to the police and you have to ensure that certain measures are taken so that people can be safe, like you said, obviously, John Canoe and all of those things. And so definitely we're going to have it all. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So once again, that's starting tomorrow at midday at the fish fry area, that sort of parked area with the stage, right, that area.
Yes.
It's going to be from there until well into the evening. Of course, wrapping up with the concert. Again, the PLP Family Fun Day, and the PLP is extending an invitation to you and your
Everybody.
family to come and be a part.
Each and every one. It's just about families coming out, enjoying the food and the festivities throughout that whole day. It's exciting.
Yeah. I thank you so much.
Thank you.
For obviously stopping by. And good luck with your event.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank you all so much for hanging out all week long with Beyond the Headlines. And we certainly enjoyed having you here. We look forward to seeing you right back here Monday evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller.